Oh, the pond. Have you ever noticed how a simple hello can sound like a foreign language when spoken with a British accent? English, despite being a shared language, takes on two distinct personalities on either side of the Atlantic. From the Queen's English to the American slang we know and love, the differences are more than just a few letters. It's like having two delicious flavors of the same ice cream, both amazing yet delightfully unique. This linguistic divide isn't new. It's been centuries in the making, seasoned with historical events, cultural exchanges, and maybe even a sprinkle of good old-fashioned stubbornness. But fear not, dear reader, this isn't a boring language lesson. Prepare to dive into the hilarious world of British versus American English, where words become weapons of amusement and grammar becomes a source of endless giggles. So buckle up, grab your favorite beverage, tea or coffee, your choice, and get ready to explore the wonderful world of British and American English. It's going to be a wild ride. Lost in translation, a vocabulary voyage. First stop on our transatlantic adventure vocabulary. Words like lift and elevator transport us to entirely different floors, while chips can leave you wondering if you're holding fries or crisps. It's enough to make your head spin. Imagine asking for a rubber in London and receiving a perplexed look instead of an eraser. Or confidently ordering chips in New York, only to be met with a plate of crispy potatoes instead of the golden fried goodness you were craving. It's a linguistic minefield out there. But fear not, brave language explorer. With a little humor and a willingness to embrace the unexpected, these vocabulary variations become less like obstacles and more like opportunities for hilarious misunderstandings and cross-cultural bonding. So the next time you find yourself chuffed to bits about something, remember to clarify if you're talking to an American friend, or you might just end up even more gobsmacked than you were before. To grammar or not to grammar? Grammar, the backbone of language, the stickler for rules, the source of endless amusement? You bet. British and American English love to play a little fast and loose with grammatical conventions. Take the past participle of get, for example. The Brits favour got, while Americans lean towards gotten. It's enough to make a grammar nerd's head spin. And don't even get us started on the collective noun conundrum. Are we talking about a team that is or are playing? It all depends on which side of the pond you're on. These grammatical quirks might seem small, but they add a delightful layer of complexity and humour to the already fascinating relationship between British and American English. So the next time you find yourself correcting someone's grammar, remember, it's all relative. And who knows, you might even learn a new rule or two along the way. You say tomato, a pronunciation playground. Hold on to your hats, folks, because pronunciation is where things get really interesting. And by interesting, we mean hilarious. From the rolling R's of the British Isles to the flat A's of the American heartland, our accents can betray our origins faster than you can say aluminium or is it aluminum. For example, the word schedule might trip up an unsuspecting American, while a Brit might raise an eyebrow at the American pronunciation of leisure. And let's not forget the classic water versus water debate. It's enough to make you want to grab a glass of water, or water, and just listen in awe. But pronunciation differences are more than just a source of amusement. They're a testament to the rich history and cultural diversity of the English language. They remind us that language is a living, breathing thing, constantly evolving and adapting. Spelled it wrong, mate, spelling shenanigans. Just when you thought you had a handle on this whole English language thing, along comes spelling to throw a wrench in the works. British and American English, despite their shared roots, seem to have a love-hate relationship with the letter U and a penchant for adding or subtracting letters at will. Colour versus colour, centre versus centre, analyse versus analyse. The list goes on. It's enough to make you want to tear your hair out, or is it tear out your hair? And don't even get us started on the re versus ear debate, looking at you, theatre and theatre. But fear not, dear reader. These spelling variations are more of a minor inconvenience than a major obstacle. In fact, they add a touch of charm and personality to our written words. So the next time you see a word spelled differently, don't fret. Embrace the difference, have a little chuckle, and remember, it's all part of the fun. Hold your horses versus hold the phone quirky expressions. Now let's talk about expressions, those quirky sayings that add color and personality to our language. British and American English are chock full of these gems, and they're a constant source of amusement and sometimes bewilderment for speakers of both varieties. Imagine an American hearing a Brit say "Bob's your uncle" after explaining a simple task, or a Brit trying to decipher the meaning of "that's a whole different ballgame." These expressions, while common in their respective countries, can sound like utter nonsense to outsiders, but that's part of what makes them so delightful. Quirky expressions provide a glimpse into the unique cultural tapestry of a place, reflecting its history, values, and sense of humor. So the next time you encounter a baffling expression, don't shy away. Embrace the confusion, ask for an explanation, and enjoy the ride. Everyday phrases from "fancy a cuppa" to "wanna grab some grub." Even the simplest everyday phrases can become a source of amusement when British and American English collide. From asking for a cup of tea to greeting a friend on the street, our two languages offer a delightful array of options, each with its own unique flavor. A Brit might invite you for a chin wag, a friendly chat, while an American might suggest shooting the breeze. And if you're feeling peckish, you could grab a bite to eat in the US, or fancy a spot of lunch in the UK. These everyday phrases, while seemingly insignificant, highlight the subtle yet pervasive differences between British and American English. They remind us that language is not just about communicating information, but also about building relationships and expressing our cultural identity. The beauty of two tongues. As we've journeyed through the hilarious world of British and American English, one thing has become abundantly clear. Diversity is the spice of language. From vocabulary variations to grammatical quirks, pronunciation differences to spelling shenanigans, these two versions of English enrich our understanding of language and culture. So, the next time you encounter a linguistic difference, don't be thrown off. Embrace the humor, celebrate the diversity, and remember, it's all part of what makes the English language so darn interesting. Now tell us, dear reader, which linguistic quirks tickle your funny bone? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.